So welcome everybody to the new moon in Aries ceremony. I will be reading a poem called Moon Code to you at the end of this session. And I welcome everybody back again, new people, I welcome you. And we're talking about how the moon affects us as women and going through all the different 8 phases of the moon. The new moon is the time to get quiet, set our intentions, manifest our dreams. And in ancient cultures, this was the time when women were ovulating. They would gather, and usually they would menstruate during the full moon. So this new moon is in Aries. Do we have any Aries in the room? You can put your hand up if you like, if there are any Aries. Okay. Oh, right, 2. So I always like to ask, make sure that I'm on cue here, my description of Aries that I put in the email that you joined as a fire sign. Are some of the qualities of Aries are leadership, impulsive, and takes action. Was I right there? Is that kind of on spot? Yes. Okay, I got a couple of nods. All right. Anybody have a girlfriend who's Aries? Yes. Oh, Dawn. Okay. Anybody else have a girlfriend who's Aries? No. I mean, I do. So the qualities of a fire sign too. I mean, last month we were working with Pisces, a water sign. So the qualities of fire are cleansing, purifying, transformation, heat, destructive. And Lane Redman, who is one of my teachers, somebody got locked out of the class. Okay, they're back in again. Is that said that the fire sign represents, or fire represents this, your spirit. So we've heard of people being described as somebody with a fiery spirit. I'm a water sign, so I'm usually cool. I do well sometimes around fire signs. I think it's a good combination. But we're going to look during the meditation, we're going to look at the qualities of fire and how that affects us. And maybe some of us need a bit more fire. Again, it's all about harmony and balance. So, add Latin to that fire. There you go. So during the guided meditation, we're going to be focusing on trusting your intuition and what leadership means to you. Maybe some of you don't want to be a leader, but there are different types of leadership, right? In matrilineal societies, women led as a way of nurturing and caregiving. I read a very interesting article on matriarchal societies, and matriarchal society is not the opposite of patriarchy. I mean, oftentimes we get this mixed up. We think, well, it's just going to be the women in charge and they're just going to do the same as the patriarchs. But no, we lead through love, being a caregiver. For those of you who get my email, I mentioned Mary Magdalene's leadership style because we just had Easter. And her leadership style was she didn't ask for permission to lead. She just led. And she was the love that didn't leave. But it was intimidating to some of the other disciples because they couldn't quite understand how she could be so intuitive. So there are different types of leadership. And then we'll also focus on making decisions and following through on our word. So if you'd like to, if you have your candle, if not, I have one here. We're going to go into our meditation, and then we'll be doing some journal prompt writing after the meditation. So have your journal handy for afterwards. There's my candle. So if everybody's comfortable, you can turn off your camera if you wish, or if you prefer to lie down, it's up to you. So sitting up tall, if you're sitting, or lying down, taking 3 long, deep breaths through the nose, filling your belly first and exhaling through your mouth. And we'll take those 3 deep breaths together. One more. And feeling your sit bones firmly planted on the chair. Feeling your root chakra ground you down through Mother Earth. And feeling the length in your spine and the energy, the commitment to be here, running through the chakras, up your spine, all the way up to your crown chakra. Feeling a gentle pull as your spine elongates. And as we think of the chakras in our spine, imagine also the moon phases up your spine. The crown chakra being the full moon, the root chakra, the new moon, the darkness, and how during the month we tap into these different chakras, different archetypal energy of each moon phase. I want you to imagine that you're sitting in front of a bonfire or a fireplace or even a candle. And you can hear the crackle of the wood. You can feel the warmth of the fire on your hands as you reach out. You can feel that warm glow on your face. And as you gaze into this fire, I want you to give thanks for the element of fire, the transformation, transmuting, purifying, and that it represents your spirit. And each time you have a thought, make a mental offering to the fire. Not just negative thoughts, but positive and neutral thoughts too. Imagine this fire has a purifying quality through which you see the world. Each time you have a thought, just offer it to the fire. So when was the last time you trusted your intuition? Just think about that. Was it in relationship, a romantic relationship, a friendship, family, or work related? Just offer any thoughts that come up to the fire. Just offer any thoughts that come up to the fire. And what does leadership mean to you? Do you have a positive thought about leadership, negative, neutral? Maybe you know somebody who's a wonderful leader. Maybe you want to be a leader yourself. Maybe you're quite happy letting somebody else lead. What are your thoughts? With all these thoughts, that fire is crackling. The flames are igniting with all the energy that we're offering to the fire. And how do you view making decisions? Would you rather leave it to somebody else? Are you constantly asking for advice? Do you enjoy making decisions and having responsibility, taking risks? Maybe you like to take your time. Make sure everything is as controlled as you can get it before you make a decision. We're going to sit by the fire a little longer and enjoy the warmth it gives. And give thanks to the element of fire, your spirit. And as the embers die down a little, it's ready to come back. You're ready to come back to the room. Before you leave, just give the fire one more thanks. Maybe get a little bit more warmth on your hands before you leave. I'm starting with the crown of your head. Imagine the embers dying down as we travel down the spine, through the chakras, through the moon phases, until the base of your spine, your root chakra. And you can roll your shoulders, moisten your lips. When you're ready, you can just slowly open your eyes, keeping your gaze soft. And then when you're ready, in your own time, you can get your pen and your journal. Hopefully they're handy. Drink a little water. So I'm going to just give you some journal prompts, a couple of questions here. And we'll spend about three to 4 minutes per question. And the idea is that you don't edit yourself, you just let it all come out. So the first question is, what does leadership mean to you? I used Mary Magdalene as an example of a leader, somebody who didn't ask permission to lead, she just led. She used her intuition and love. She offers us a deep insight into the sacred feminine. And what does leadership mean to you? Good or bad? Maybe there's somebody that you admire that is a really good leader. Somebody that is of service, no ego attached. And being a leader could be a small gesture. It doesn't have to be big and expansive. So if you don't consider yourself a leader, where could you lead? You could be an auntie and lead through example. What would your leadership style look like? We're still on the leadership question. Remember, we are tapping into the qualities of Aries in this new moon. Each month with the new moons, there will be a different topic. You could consider this an archetypal energy as well as we work through this zodiac sign. What comes up if you think about leadership that you're afraid to? What is it that comes up? So you write that down too. Is it fear of being judged? Not smart enough, not good enough? Maybe you don't want the responsibility. That's fine. And if you were to step into a leadership role, what would your message be? What would your message be as a leader? Using Mary Magdalene again as an example of leadership style, she would say, "For those who have eyes, let them see. For those who have ears, let them hear." This is in her book. And any negative thoughts that come up, release them to the fire, like we did in the meditation. And the next question is, are you impulsive? See some of you shaking your head. If you're not, why not? There's no good or bad here. Just looking at the qualities of being impulsive. And if you are impulsive, has it ever backfired? Or are you trusting your intuition? If you're not impulsive, are you afraid of failing? Don't want to try just in case? Have you been waiting for permission to act on an impulse? What stops you from being impulsive? Maybe you're in relationship with somebody who is impulsive and you're not, and you help balance each other out. Or maybe you're in a business relationship where one of you is more impulsive. How does that work out? A couple more minutes. Another minute. So each month I draw a card from this new moon intention card deck, and it always seems to be spot on. So this is the one that oh, you can't see that. It's burning to trust. I'll read it to you, and there's an intention. I open my heart to love and trust others without fear or hesitation. By opening my heart and trusting others, I learn how to love and to trust myself more deeply. I see that others are simply teachers waiting to expand my current state of conscious development. So, if you were to write an intention yourself for this new moon around leadership and trust, what would that look like? I started writing mine. I'm open to opportunities where I can be of service as a leader. What would you write an intention for this new moon wrapped around leadership and trust and intuition based on your journal freestyle writing? If anything comes to mind, I'd invite you to write it down. Starting your intention with I'm open, or I trust, I. Maybe in that intention is your lesson, if something has backfired. And I really think this is so spot on, burning to trust, using our intuition. Has anything come up for anybody that you want to share in the chat? Something that you hadn't even thought about until you sat in front of that fire? If anybody wants to share. Is everybody still writing? Yeah, that's good. So I have the poem to read again. Oh, Vanessa, I was having a problem with the word impulsive. Oh, is it okay if I read it out? I'm assuming it's okay, right? Yeah. So I looked up, hang on. I looked up impulse and found a driving or motivating force that helped me see that I am impulsive. Yeah. Is it connected to intuition? Yeah. I listened to the inner. Oh, okay. You just wrote that? Yeah, just before I said it. Okay. I listened to my inner voice as a divine inspiration. Yeah. Yeah, I had a really interesting quote just because the other day, just because we feel fear doesn't mean to say we're in danger. And I thought that was so powerful. Just because we feel fear doesn't mean to say we're in danger. Could be ancestral wounds, so many things. So I'm going to read Moon Code, the poem by Rachel Kahn from her book, How to Bless the New Moon. Forgive me, I am a simple human woman, built of sinew and blood. Is it any fault of mine that a million moon songs have already been written or sung? Make this 1,000,001. I escape the stifle of industry, step onto the black-topped parking lot. Small wonder I'm knocked out by that glamorous pearled vamp of a luscious moon. Consumed by her luminous profusion, drowning in her riotous lily light, weak-kneed and wholly devoted. My foolish, lunatic heart longs to present her to you, a diamond sphere on a silver platter, to compare your glow with her heroic waxing fantastic. Born fat-souled as we were, we relate to her, unabated craving to radiate, to fill center stage of a star-charged sky. We cannot be flattened, our only diminishment an illusion of eclipsing. Amidst the celestial silence, I will speak to you only in moon code, wherein my enfolded heartbeat is hidden with intricacies of rhythm. In this missive is successfully transmitted, bridges the distance. All of this will be worth it. When we wane, our heart retreats, closed, hearts dulled by disappointment. But when we are full, love, when we are full, the honey of our illumination runs riot, thunderous, glorious, super rational, unbidden, explosive. Our brilliance is in our resilience. We always come around. So the new moon actually is tomorrow, but you're in preparation for it. I didn't want to do it on a Sunday necessarily, so that's why I did it today. So it starts tomorrow, I believe, in the evening sometime. So, and I don't assume that you've definitely got all your intentions set, even after just today. There may be this, you can keep ruminating on the questions and revisiting your writing, your journal, because things will shift maybe, or maybe you'll think of something else as you're out and about in your day. Does anybody have anything to share? Something I just found in my Google Calendar an option to add the phases of the moon. Yeah, that's great. So I know in the email I had mentioned 3 dates. I think it's the 26th or the 27th, our time, Pacific Standard Time, is the full moon in Scorpio. That's my sign. So that'll be interesting. Oh, yes, and you too, Vanessa. That's right. So to mark that, and it's Earth Day on the 22nd. So we'll be grounding into the Earth's energy, and I'll be sending an email out for something exciting that I'm involved with my drum teacher, releasing a piece that we were working on. So, and it's called Dragonfly. So we're all, myself and her other students, we are making videos. So you'll be privy to the release of Dragonfly on the 22nd. And the next new moon is May 11th, and that's in Taurus. So I'll be sending out an invitation for you to join. That actually is a Tuesday. So I know some of you work, but I'll be figuring out the date and the time for that. I think this 9 a.m. works pretty good for most people. Depends on the day, of course. So, and also I will be sending out little email prompts throughout this month as the moon moves through all the different phases. So the new moon is tomorrow in Aries. So this is an invitation to be quiet like we are now. And then it moves into the waxing crescent phase. And this is confirmation that your seeds are growing and that you to have faith and focus. And this also could be a time that you declare your intentions. So you speak them out loud. This is a very powerful exercise. You could speak into the mirror. You could just speak them out to a friend. I know somebody last month did that. And she had a oracle of 2 swans flying by her window, and it was right in tune with her intentions. And then we'll move into the first quarter, which is on the 20th. And this is about committing and taking action. So you're putting in effort. It's not right now, we're just gathering the intentions. It's not an invitation to put in action. That's not until the 20th. But of course, if something happens and you feel like you're taking action, you can. And then we move into the waxing gibbous, which is about reviewing, refining, and nurturing yourself and being patient. Anybody here is doesn't have patience, then this is an invitation to have patience. And then we move into the full moon, which is the illuminating time. Like I mentioned earlier, this was the time when I was having a conversation with Sam Hewen from Outlander. And I felt so fully visible. I felt like my face was shining like a full moon. And so take note of how you feel during this time. Make a little mental note in your diary. And then we move into the waning gibbous, which is about reflecting and releasing and taking a break and sharing your wisdom before we move into the last quarter. So there are 2 quarters. Just reevaluating, readjusting, clearing your energy and releasing and trusting. And the final phase before we come back again to the new moon is the waning crescent. And this is the invitation to take care of yourself, give yourself lots of self-love, preparing your intention and connecting to your intuition. So it's pretty fascinating, right? Yeah. So I see a lot of people have their cameras turned off, and I'm assuming you're in that deep, wonderful state of darkness like the new moon. I also equate this time to winter. And as we move through the moon phases, the full moon being summer. So we can work through the seasons as well during this month. Anybody have any questions at all? Everybody's still writing away. I love it. Thank you so much. Hi, Diana. I've always loved the moon phases from being born on a farm, but this is the first time I have heard the energy impacts on connecting the phases of our lives. Lovely and awesome. Yeah. I'm so glad you're enjoying it, Diane. Yeah, I am too. I haven't actually done it in this much detail before, so I'm learning as well, as we go along, which is wonderful. And yeah, I've really taken note this last month, and I certainly invite you to, and take note of all the emails that I'm just going to be sending about every 2 or 3 days, because we have about 3.5 days per phase. So every few days I'll be sending that email out, so you can just stop and take note, revisit your intentions. And like I said, this is what women have known intrinsically all our lives, that we're connected to the moon. I drew a ruin stone and got the Lossel goddess. It's like 25,000 years old. This image, I can't find it now, but she's holding, it looks like a bison horn, and on the bison horn are indentations, 13 indentations of the 13 moons, and this is the oldest calendar ever found. So it's what women have intrinsically known. And she's holding the bison. It's on my Instagram. She's holding the bison horn with one hand, and then the other hand is on her womb space, because she's showing that she's connected to the moon. Fascinating. The moon made me do it. All right. Well, I wish you all a beautiful day. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Joan. She said, thank you for your leadership. Yeah, my leadership definitely is, I'm all about love. It's always been my thing, and nurturing. And thank you for that. So hopefully you felt nurtured. Oh, your grace, love, and wisdom. Oh, now I'm going to blush. So I will send this recording. Oh, thank you. See you next month. Yes, I will confirm the date. Yes. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you very much, everyone. Oh, thank you. You said, you are so sweet. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Tanya. This is recorded, and I can get this out to you before 11. So for those people who didn't make it live, we'll definitely have it within the hour. So that's for you too. If next month you can't make it live, that you will get it, and you'll be able to do all the exercises, set your intentions, not much far behind everybody else. So I will see you next month. Thank you. And so great. My cat did not come in the room again. So I'm Just so happy because I was thinking she'd waltz in squawking, but she's being good. She must know that there's serious stuff going on in this room. So have a wonderful day.